I'm live, nice. Alright, amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and send the link out to people. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm still learning. Come on, don't judge. So if you guys are still finding delays, let me know. We can fix that as well. So I'm just gonna send out the link, the updated links to everyone. Just give me a minute. There we go. To the Patreon, send, to Christine, sent as well. Alright, so once you guys are in, we can just go ahead. So in the trading view, what you gotta do actually is just go to the, yeah, there it is. On the hot list page, you can go over there and then click on the tab upside, like right over there, the downward sloping arrow. Just click on it. You'll see gap losers. So you're just gonna click here and then go through the volume. So these are the gap losers from Friday. It'll only get updated every morning after the market open. So if you guys wanna wait technically after market open. So there is unfortunately no way to configure the pre-market moves, but there are other screeners like StockWits or FinWits which actually lets you do that. But for now, for here, wait for the market to open, and it's fine. You don't have to trade the first 15 minutes. You don't have to trade the first 30 minutes. So it will show up once you see the average volume spike. At least have at least like a million or so that like you will get a decent liquidity in options. You wouldn't be whacked with a wide bid to ask in the trade. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Alright, so let me know in the comments like if you guys can see me properly. So let me go and let everyone know on the server as well. So whoever joined before can join again. SPY is still consolidating around. Alright. So let me know in the comments because for me, I can't hear my own voice here. So I want to go with what you guys are saying, to be honest. So if you guys can see it, you guys can see it. If not, then we got to make more changes. I want you guys to help the guy out. I mean, I'm sorry about it. Live streaming is setting things up, something new to me. Recording videos, yeah, that's fine, that's cool and all, but live streaming, there's something about encoding and stuff which has been going on in the background. So the last time when I checked it, it says encoding overload because I was going full HD. Yeah, that's mad. So I just downscaled it a bit so you guys can see the screens properly, so you guys can hear me properly, so the video doesn't glitch a lot. So let me know. Everything good, we can see and hear you. Amazing. Thank you. Looks like we fixed it for now. Alright, yeah, so as I was saying, I saw a question beforehand on how to see the gap losers in the trading view. So click on the hot list right over here. Once you click on the hot list, click on this arrow downwards. You have to go to the US exchange and then select gap losers from there. So once you see selected, you'll see all the gap downs, like all the stocks which actually gap down and sold off pretty consistently on Friday's session. So once the market opened, you'll see the list updates. So once it updates, you can just wait and hold off and see which the volume is being generated. So if you're a Patreon member, last week every single trade which was given us or ones from this list. We just took this list and we look at the ATR, for example, AZN, right? On Friday, it was the one which alerted from this list. It's not a paid stuff. It's free. If you have a TradingView subscription, every single person can see this. It's what you utilize from it. That's the most important. So you can just go over here and see ASEAN, for example. So they opened with a gap down. So what is that? Once they opened with the gap down, the opening print was at around 69.50. ATR is at around $1.18. So 69.50 minus 118 is somewhere around $68.40 ish. So look at where they bounced at. The lows of the day was around 68.58, but our numbers were at around 68.28. So we didn't take the trade, but you get the point. The point is, the stocks which gap down are not going to keep selling off through the entire day. They're going to offer some bounces. Let's take Goldman Sachs after they reported earnings. That's a decent example which I can think of for now. So after they reported earnings, right over here. Let's go back a bit. Yep, there it is. So they gap down at the open, and we have two numbers, 358. You can see how they reacted at 358. This is from a scalper's or a day trader's point of view alone. So we're gonna enter at an important area and then get out of it with a small profit. So for example, 358 was an important area which was given. They touched 358 and gave a bounce all the way to 361 to 362. That was a $4 to $3 move to the upside. And options, we're talking about 3 delta, that is. So you're technically risking like $1 or so to make $3. That's a good risk to reward as well. And once they broke it, they went all the way down to the next support level which we have, which is around 350. Once they hit it, they gave us the bounce to 352 to 353, another $3 bounce. So these are the type of scalps which you actually need to take instead of trading SPY for like 50 cents or 40 cents or whatever it is. I mean, you can do that as well, but this is more proper way of doing it because you do have the risk reward on your side. If you're risking $200 and you can make like if you're risking like $1 move, by what I mean is, if you're going along with calls here, you'll be setting your stops at closing candles under 357. So technically you're risking $1. If they start closing candles under 357, you'll be out with a small loss. But if they keep bouncing to the upside, you got a 3 to 4 point trade. Of course, you can't exit at the exact time, exact price and everything, but you get the point. Like, you see a bounce at an important area and you capitalize on that bounce and you get out, in, out, hello, goodbye sort of thing. So this is something which has been back tested and it worked pretty good for me. That's why I've been telling you guys. And let's see, like, keep an eye out. Keep an eye out on the gap losers. So you don't have to look at the gap losers alone. There is another tab called volume gainers. So this is what I was been telling about. Like, if you guys trade like momentum type of stocks, for example, like AMC, GME, or example, like especially when they're having short squeeze, you'll see a sudden surge in volume. A sudden surge in volume will be indicated in the volume gainers, especially if a stock, when the stock is trading and suddenly you get a huge spike in the volume, it'll be alerted over here, right over there in the volume gainers. So there is a lot of other options as well, so you guys can go and check it out. And if you want to see what's going on, there is a stock screener in the downside as well. Let me minimize this. There is a stock screener in the down. You can click it, and if you go to the filters, you can literally put in any type of filters, whatever you need. Like, for example, if you're like a 52-week low trader, you want to see what all the stocks which hit a new 52-week low, it's going to tell you. If you want to see what stocks hit a new 52-week high, well, it's going to tell you right over here. These are the stocks which actually hit a new 52-week high. If you want to see the stocks which actually hit a new all-time highs or new monthly highs, it's going to tell you right over there. So stock screener is pretty reliable tool when it comes to trading view, so I recommend all of you keep an eye out for it. So helps you pick out a lot of questions you guys ask me, like you guys ask me and other pro investors and other people over there, anyone who trades, like, how do you pick up these stocks on your own? Well, there you go. So you got to find out the strategy which works out for you. For me in particular, gap down losers works out pretty good for me, and trading the stocks which breached a new all-time highs and then buying calls when they come back to run a test to that all-time highs, that worked out pretty good. So that's why I always keep an eye out for stocks which actually hit a new 52-week highs, and I'll set an alert on that previous 52-week highs, and when they come back to run a test to it, I'll go long. So let me give you an example. Something beautiful happened with Caterpillar on Friday. So they breached the new all-time highs and they were pushing higher and higher, and look at what happened on Friday. Let me go back to the daily chart, it'll be more clear. Yep, there you go. If I switch to weekly, yep, there it is. So you have the previous all-time highs at $247. 247 is the previous highs, and let me put that line right over there. So if you go to the daily charts, you can see that them coming back to run a test to it and see what happened over there. Pushing all the way up, came back to run a test to the previous highs which was made, and now pushing up on Friday. So this is one of an example. This is the type of trades which I usually take. Once I break out to the all-time highs, I won't take it. I will wait for them to come back and run a test to these levels, and then go long on that particular bounce which you're seeing. Is there an indicator for risk to reward? Well, you and your portfolio is an actual indicator. Your P&L is an indicator if you have a good risk to reward or not, to be honest. So there's not a particular indicator for you, but if you want to take a look at it, TradingView does have it. Like, I think you can find it right over here. Let me see. Let me pull it up. It should be here, right over there, not here. There should be a P&L area where you can actually scroll it, and it will give you the exact amount of P&L which you're looking for. Ah, there it is. So long position. So let's say you're going long at 257, and there you go. So if Caterpillar goes all the way up to, if you're setting a $2 stop, so technically it tells you you're setting your stop losses at $2.50, and you're securing your profits at $14 to the upside. So technically you're risking 1% of that stock move to make like 6 to 7%. So in here the P&L is 3.02. So if you want to know where I took it from, so on the side right over here, prediction and measurement tools, click on it. If you're going long, there is a long position. If you're going short, there is a short position. You can click from your entry, and you can calculate the risk to reward percentage. So open P&L 3:2 is to what the risk to reward is right over here. Risk to reward ratio is 5.75. So this is how you calculate it. So this you can do it on your own, but if you want an indicator for it, TradingView has that for you as well. God damn, looks like I'm promoting this shit and I'm not even getting paid for it. Now it's a really good tool, so you guys can check it out. Now I won't be saying it if it's not. Does the technical rating in a stock screener page helps with picking the stock? Stock screener technical rating, I don't even keep an eye out for it. Where do you see it from? Let me know where you see it from. I don't even use that technical rating, so I have no idea where you even find it. For me, for some reason, the filters is not working usually. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Yeah, for me, I only use the filters to filter out the 52-week lows and 52-week highs. That's all I need the filters for, because that's the only thing I trade. If the stock made a new 52-week low, I short it. I buy puts on it. I don't buy calls on it. If they made a new 52-week lows, or if they made a new all-time lows, I buy puts. The risk is getting short squeezed, but your stops is always set at the previous 52-week low, which is going to be acting as a resistance on the way down again. The same with the all-time highs. So over here, as you can see, they come back down, they run a test, and now they're pushing higher. So this was a big move to the downside from 260 all the way to like 247. But the thing is, are they just coming back down to run a test, or it's the setup for a failure? We don't know. But for now, the trend is still bullish. I'm leaning they're going to go all the way back up again to form another lower high, or back test to the previous high to form a double top. So something to keep an eye out for. Alright, futures are actually reversing. They rejected the 4,000, I guess. What's the high? Yep, futures rejected the 4,000. That's the highest for now. So 4,000 has been rejected, and now they're coming back down. So leading into today, let me recap the SPY. So leading into today, 395. If you're a bull, that's your pivot. 395 is a very, very important area. So as long as SPY stays about 395, you can see the SPY pushing up to 398.50 again. If they lose 395, watch out for 393.50, 390.60 to the downside. Something to keep an eye out for. Anything about 395 bullish, under 395, not so interested. Dow Jones is one of the biggest laggard. If you want to see the recession, If you want to see, if you're a big believer in recession and earnings contraction, well, you will see that being reflected in Dow Jones this week. Not gonna lie, especially with a lot of, as I said, a lot of earnings with Dow Jones being reported. It's gonna be a wild price action with DIA, especially stocks like Johnson and Johnson. Almost everything, the biggest holdings are being reported. Like Johnson and Johnson is very important, one of the biggest stocks, and Honeywell, did they already report it? I don't think Honeywell is reporting. IBM is reporting, Intel is reporting, 3M is reporting, and all these underdogs are reporting over here in the value side of things. So something to keep an eye out for. Watch out. Earnings calls will be important. So if you guys are into macro sort of thing, if you guys want to know what the companies are actually saying, go on to sit down and listen to the earnings calls of every single companies which are reporting this week to see what the CEOs are saying about the economy. That's how you learn. Like, I mean, you already know it. If you as a customer, us as a customer, we already consumer, we already know how the economy is. We They're gonna try to gaslight us saying that, oh, the consumers are still resilient. Oh fuck no, we can see that from the retail sales. People are not spending anymore. They start to save. People are during Christmas. It was the holiday season. Used to be one of the spending used to happen at peak during these levels, but it didn't happen. Consumers are starting to feel the inflation biting into their pockets. Though the inflation coming down right now, but still, it's still at 6%. It's still crazy high levels. So this is how it slowly begins. Demand destruction is what they call it. So the companies already started laying off. You'll lose your job. They'll start cutting your pay. They'll give you an option: either cut your pay or you're gonna get fired. So you got to choose one. Choose from one. So people will, you will see companies laying off, and that's a sad story. But that's where we are at right now. Fed needs it. Fed needs people to lose their jobs. They said it them. They didn't say it like in the similar way, but that's how it is. By demand destruction, if people start losing their jobs, they won't be spending a lot. If they stop spending a lot, the demand goes down. If the demand goes lower, then you'll see the prices fall apart. Prices come down. So that's how they're dealing with this, and it's a sad reality of where we are at the moment. But hey, they sold their stocks at all-time highs. I guess that's a good thing, right? They can retire a millionaire. So, alright. So if you guys are watching something, let me know. Like, I'm targeting 255 Feb 17 calls, bullish on cat for sure. Yeah, as you should be, as you should be. So let me see. Don't worry about this. All these nasty lines and spy. This is my chart which I started when I was a beginner. Yeah, so they came back to run a test to the 20 SMA in daily. Now they're pushing up. They recapture that 5-day moving average, which is downward sloping. Caterpillar can easily go back up to fill this gap at 252 and change. Above it, we are seeing an test to the all-time highs again. So let's see. Apple is a wild one over here. Apple is a wild boy. So if they go about 138, watch out. They can push to 140 here on Apple. 138.07 is what we are watching. Big resistance level. If they get rejected here, they're gonna come all the way back down to 134 again. 138 to 134 is the range for now. Google did insanely good, exceptionally good. Exceptionally good into last week, especially 86 to 99 into that 102 levels. Let's see if they can crack it. If they can't, they're gonna fall back down again. Netflix is at resistance levels as well. They're running a test to that trend line going all the way up from the 255 area. They might just fizzle out and consolidate for a while at this point. We gotta wait and see. Microsoft reporting earnings premiums were gonna be fucking crazy expensive. I'm not even gonna touch options on these. Meta, interesting looking chart for sure. As long as above 134, we can see 141 and change. So Meta is something to keep an eye out for. Under resistance, but if they crack 140, watch out for 142. If they crack 142, 154 will be pretty soon. They can melt up pretty soon. I'm not saying it's going to happen by end of this week, but As long as they're above 134, they're going to slowly melt up to the upside, especially if SPY recaptures that trend line. Pinterest, still in that channel, nothing changed. Still in that back and forth uptrending channel in a bearish flaggish type of pattern. There you go in the weekly, you can see it clearly. It's a bear flag until proven otherwise. So they're just consolidating in a rising wedge sort of thing. So let's see how it goes. American Express reporting earnings, can't trade it. Amgen, most likely they should be reporting earnings this week. Yep, reporting earnings, can't trade it. Caterpillar reporting earnings, can't trade it. Boeing reporting earnings, can't trade it. Cisco, well, next week, so that's fine. Cisco is something to keep an eye out for. Chevron reporting earnings, we can't trade it. Goldman Sachs already reported. If you want to trade Goldman Sachs under 338, go ham. Short all the way to 330 and change to the downside. It's the easiest trade right over here. Under 338, short to 330. And if they're holding 340 to 330, 338 to 340, we can see a push again to 350 again. They're still range bound, going back and forth. For now, the range will be 350 all the way down to 339 to 338 to the downside. What about IBM? Well, reporting earnings, can't trade it. Intel reporting earnings, can't trade it at all. Most of the Dow 30 stocks, which I usually trade, are reporting earnings. Looks like I'll be sitting on the sidelines today. Monster Energy is something interesting. Just consolidating between this 102, 103 to 100 level. And if they break out, we got to see. If they break down, we got to see. Any move after consolidation is going to be violent. Something to keep a note on. Alright, SPY, what are you up to? Let me pull up the pre-market data to see what's going on. Alright, so the pre-market highs, there you have it, 397. So that's going to be the pre-market highs leading into today, and 397 exact number will be 397.13, which was 4,000 in ES. Above it, watch out for above 4,000. We have 33s, I guess, in ES. Let me see, 4,033 ish. Yeah, 4,050. Yep, 4050 will be next. That also coincides with the AV VAP as well. So let's see. If they break it, we can see 402.50, 400 to 402.50 in SPY. We gotta wait and watch. Wait and watch. Friday's close was really good, but I want 398.50 to be taken. Above it, we have 400. Above it, we have that big time resistance at around 403.22. As I mentioned in yesterday's notes, lots of earnings, lots of uncertainty. I'm not going to trade a lot this week. I'm just going to sit back and watch what's going on. That's all going to happen. You don't have to trade every single day. Sometimes it's better to sit back and just observe the markets. If you guys are looking at something, if you guys want me to go over charts or stocks and setup, let me know. I'll be happy to go over them. Alright, so we are opening in another 7 minutes. If you guys are not feeling good emotionally, if you guys are going through something, go for a walk. Don't trade when you're not feeling good. Don't touch any options, any buttons when you're not feeling good. If you already took a massive loss on Friday and if you're still not over it, don't trade. Go for a walk. It's all good. It'll be better. Until you feel better, stay away from the computer. Simple as that. Stay away from your brokerage. Good morning. Just joined. Did you already touch upon Enphase and FSLR? Nope, not yet, but we'll go over Enphase. Enphase. Alright, so pretty interesting. Did they fill the gap already? I think so. Yep, 219. There we go. They hit the 219 mark, which was our target. If they broke under this level, which we have right over here at around 232 and change. Well, if they break under 219, well, they're gonna come all the way back down. There's a long way to go. If you draw the trend line right from here, from the lows, that trend line is currently sitting at 200 to 180. So let's see where the moving averages are. They're under all the moving averages in daily, and they close it under weekly. So the next moving average is at 200 to 203. So I won't be surprised if they come all the way back down. If they go all the way up to run a test to 233 and get rejected, I can see it coming all the way back down again to 201 and change. So something to keep an eye out for. In phase 219 is very important. Breaking under 219, watch out for 200. And FSLR aren't they showing relative strength, or is that a false breakout? Nope. Yep, they are showing relative strength compared to Enphase. So as long as they're above 163, be cautious. The trend is still bullish. They are bullish. There's another example which I was saying. So they did come back down to run a test over here to support. They didn't hold on to that 172 level. They broke it. Now 162.50. This is where the convergence of moving averages are at, which is the 50 and the 20. So the good area of support as well. If they continue to push up, watch out for resistance at 173.50 in FSLR. About 173.50, we'll take it on a real-time basis. For now, the range will be 173.50 to 163 to the downside. Breaking under it, it's going to be a false breakout, which is going to result in a massive sell-off as well. 148 will be the next level of support, followed by the recent lows at 140. Looking to buy and face around 160. Well, yeah, that's a long shot, but yep, won't be surprised. The charts are looking bearish, so 160 will be what? 160 based upon what exactly? I don't see any area of any importance over there around that area. Technically speaking, 113 was the lows from Jan 2022. The Jan of 2022 Enphase was trading at around 112. It's not far off if you think about it. Right now, it made a highs of 340 in 2022. One of the biggest winners right over here. The monthly charts looks like a fucking meme stock. Won't be surprised if they come all the way down to 178 to 160. Yep, I agree with you. Let's see. Very, very overvalued, and the markets does not take it lightly, especially if they have earnings on Feb 8th, and if they disappoint, watch out for a massive gap down. Visa reporting earnings, I guess, mostly. When are they actually reporting? Let me see. If you guys know the reporting date of Visa, let me know. I can't find it here. Walgreens already reported. Walmart. This is going to be an important earnings. Walmart is reporting on Feb 21st, so this is going to be something important to keep an eye out for. Alright boys, 2 more minutes. Let's get ready for the session. They are opening about 395. Still under 4,000. They're pushing it up. So let's see if they can take it. And if they're going to push it up or they're going to pummel back down. Opening right at or near the resistance levels. So let's see how it goes. One more minute. So let me show you guys in real time what I'm talking about, like the hot listing. You'll see it update immediately as soon as the market opens. go. Tesla. Oh, Tesla with a nice gap up. What's going on there? 135 and change. Interesting. Still under that massive 137 resistance though. Almost half of the tech stocks are opening right at the resistance levels. So let's see if they can take it. If the first candle can't take it, it's gonna be a disastrous day. Gap and crap sort of thing. Let's see. And here we go. And this is what I was talking about. Gap loses. Yep, there you go, the updated list. XYL, consumer discretionary. What's XYL? Oh, Xylem, nah, we don't need it. We'll wait for the volume in these stocks to show up pretty nicely. We'll wait and see how the volume turns out to be, and we'll take the trades based off of that. We'll go GIL, STNG, DWAC with the gap down. Interesting. DVAC is here. Jagex, all these meme stocks are getting absolutely destroyed. I want something decent. So give me something decent to trade. TRMD, what is it? No idea what the company does. GIL, no idea what the company does. GNS is still leading the volume gainers list, not gonna lie. Look at all these penny stocks go. Absolutely insane. Up like 40-50%. Right, so 94 cents. GIL, why is it selling off? Right, so this is an example for gap down. So you can see the opening print was at 30 bucks. The ATR is at around 75 cents. They already moved one ATR over here, and they're coming in contact with an important support level at around 29.50 and change. So this will be your entry one. So you can set your entry over here with the stops at closing candles under 29 and change. And if they bounce from here, well, there is your day trade. Ticker GIL. So let's see how it goes. I'm not saying take the trades, I'm saying something to watch. This is the strategy which I was talking about. You go and see the stocks with the gap down place. You can see BBBY. Nah, we're not going to touch that from meme stock. Not worth it. Let's take a look at it. Did they make a new all-time low set? Nope, not yet. Pretty sure they're going to come all the way down to sell off to 294, or even go on all the way down to 130 to make a new low, to make another penny stock. Every single short squeeze which this stock had always resulted in a new low. Something to keep an eye out for. Let's go back to SPY. Right, rejected the pre-market highs, found support at what level again? 395.71. There are no accidents or coincidences. Let's wait and see. So 4K still under it in ES. So if they can't recapture it, they're going to come back down to 395 to 393.57 again. An important area zone you're at above. So let's see how the day plays out. I'm kind of, if they take out ES, takes out 4,000, I will be kind of more bullish, to be honest. As long as they're under it, I'm kind of like leaning a bit cautious, especially with SPY being under this massive trend line. So I'm just watching the tape here today. I'm not taking any trades. I will be taking. I'll tell you when I will be taking trades. I will be taking trades if they take out 398.50, and if they start closing candles above it, all the way to 400 and 402.50 or 403 to the upside. That's when I'll be going long on SPY. Over here, it's just gonna be a chop zone. Annoying to trade anything for pennies, and not worth it, to be honest. ARRY is the. Someone asked about this. Oh, it is indeed, Curtis. Hey, welcome, man. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Let's go SPY. Yep, there it is. All the way coming from all the way from all-time highs. As I said earlier, every time SPY neared this level, you saw bulls come out of the woodsheds and say we're gonna go to a new all-time highs and we're gonna go to a new bull market. Well, let's see how many times they're wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's the sixth time. They're gonna be wrong again. Well, until proven otherwise, I'm gonna assume the same because we are in a downtrend. So let's see. They're just flat. One more thing to note, after a strong day like Friday, and it is pretty common for markets to just consolidate and not do anything, to be honest, just trade flat for the entire day. So it's pretty common. So don't be surprised to see like a slow melt up or just like totally flat 20-point range bound day. With VIX at 20, it's pretty expected to see at least like 0.5% move or 1% move in the markets, either to the upside or to the downside. They're either going to crush the volatility here, and with earnings, I highly doubt it. So let's see. We are bouncing from that support level at 395.76, and if ES fails at 4,000 again, I'll be leaning more towards 395.13 or 393.57 for today. Too early to call anything. We gotta wait and see. Alright, so see you guys in the Discord. Go ahead and check it out if you guys in Chris Sain's or if you guys in my own. So I'll keep you guys updated over there. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. So if you guys found it helpful, subscribe to the channel, leave a like. Really appreciate it.